Okay, we are here and we are talking about follow-up, maybe the most important part of what we do over the next couple of weeks. So, we talked about business mindset and how you have to go into doing your business with the right mindset. And then we talked about scheduling. And now we're going to talk about follow-up. Out of the four main things that we do in our business, follow-up is one of them. And it's maybe the most important. I would say it is the most important. So the core four of what we do is we create content, we post, right? We grow our networks, we make new connections, message people, ask people about our stuff, and then we follow up. So you have to, those things, all those things I just said is like day-to-day basis what you're supposed to be doing. And you can't skip any of them. It's like once you plant the seed and ask somebody about business or products, you have to post so they know you're a real person, and you have to, build a relationship so that you don't fizzle out. You have to keep adding new people so that you can, when you do post, new people are seeing your stuff so you don't run out of people to talk to. And you have to follow up because I'll tell you why in a minute. So I want you to listen. Sebastian, I'm sorry, I can't hang out with you. No, you can't come in. Sorry, I love you. So listen to me right now. Really listen, like hear me. Phones down, paying attention. If you're doing all the other things, but you're not following up at least 5 times with people, you're wasting your time. And I'm going to show you why with this visual that I have, because it's just, this is a sales statistics for any type of anything anybody is selling. This goes for, if Target's doing an advertisement, if selling houses, like anything you're doing, this is the sales stats. And I wish that I could get this centered. Can you guys see this? Is this just being weird for me in the chat? Can you tell me?
No, we can't see it. It's kind of like off-centered.
Let me try this again. Sebastian, you got to go. Here we go. Just bear with me. 30 seconds. Okay. This is such a weird. You need to see this. If you want to take a screenshot of it, whatever you got to do. Look at this. Okay. Sales statistics. Now let's go through this really quickly. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 48%. Half of all people, pretty much, never follow up. Okay. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and then they stop. And only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. But then look at this. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So if you are only following up 3 or less times, you're going to miss it every time, because 80% of those sales are going to come after 5 contacts. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 2% of sales are made on the very first contact. So if you have 100 serious conversations, that's not just like messaging people and saying like, hey, I think you'd be good at the business. Do you want to know what I do? And then them never replying. Like actual conversations that you have a back and forth with people on. Out of every 100 conversations like that, 2 of them are going to enroll the very first time you talk to them. Think about that. So you need to make follow-up part of your daily activity. You need to get rid of the stigma around it. You need to stop feeling like you're annoying, like you're bothering people, because the fact of the matter is you're not. So everybody get their screenshots, study this, look at it. Like 80% of sales enrollments are coming after your 5th contact. Okay. Very important to know. So then listen to this quote that I just want to kind of nail in your heads as well. If you willingly let your potential clients fall through the cracks because of a failure to follow through, poor communication, or lack of organization, you jeopardize your professional reputation, the potential for referrals, and worst of all, your entire business. Because if you're not following up with somebody and like you tell them you want to help them with your hair, or you want to help them be more financially stable, and then you never pop back in on them again, they're going to feel like they're just a transaction to you. We're about transformations, right? Like you want to make people know that you care about their goals, that you're going to be there when they're ready, because you can't control people's wallets. You can't control, like life happens and people need to pay for something they weren't expecting. You can't control any of that, but you can control your follow-up and how you care about people and how you show them that you're going to be around when they are ready. It's not about you and your enrollment. It's about them and their readiness. So Failure to follow up happens every day in virtually every industry, and it costs all of us personally and professionally. It's an expensive mistake when there's absolutely no good reason to neglect follow-up in any business. With this much disregard of prospects, it's not surprising that so many business owners and salespeople are struggling these days, because only 12% of people make it past 3 follow-ups, you guys, which is crazy. Okay. Following up too is an easy way to differentiate yourself from everybody else, because as we just saw, 50% of people never even follow up a second time. They make the initial contact and then they just disappear off the face of the earth, which shows people that they really didn't care about them in the first place, right? So just make follow-up, follow-up's honestly my favorite thing. If I have I'll show you guys my system in a little bit. And if I have a full sheet of paper, really quick, see all these names? See all these names? All these names, those are all people that I am keeping in contact with. And another thing is mindset. Okay, so mindset, you just have to get over the fact, if you think you're bothering people. I was just thinking about this, and like I said last week, this is my 4th year in marketing, and over time I always hear people say things like, people in the business say things like, I feel annoying, I don't want to follow up with them because of XYZ. You're making that up in your head. I have never once in 4 years had somebody blatantly to my face tell me that they think I'm annoying, ever. I mean, maybe they said it behind my back. Sure, I've gotten blocked a few times, but no one's ever straight up said to me, you're annoying, stop talking to me, ever. No one's ever said that. I have had people, though, tell me multiple times, probably, I don't know, at least 50 times in the last 4 years, that the people I'm following up with appreciate me and my consistency and showing them that I care about their goals. I've had people actually say that to me. No one's ever told me I'm annoying. So you need to stop thinking you're annoying, because you're not. You're making that up. If you're going to talk to somebody that you've already talked to before and they didn't reply to your last message or whatever it may be, and you're like, I don't want to be annoying. Ask yourself, who told you you're annoying besides you? You're just making it up. They're probably just busy. Do you know how many times that I have forgotten to respond to? Even people on my team will message me something, and then my son will spill some milk or throw something out our window. One of our windows doesn't have a screen. So I have to go and whatever, I just freaking forget. And then I'll be like, oh my God, I forgot to reply or whatever. And even with people in other businesses, because I support other network marketers, I've definitely left people on red on accident. It's just, especially when we're all moms, we're busy, we're working, people forget. People just forget. It's not their job to remind themselves. It's your job to remind them, show them that you care. Okay. So like I said, most people don't follow up. So you're going to differentiate yourself when you do make it just make it a system. You have to find a system, which we're going to talk about systems here in a minute too, but you just have to know follow up is just, you're just, like I said, you're going to be wasting your time if you're not following up, because all your efforts just going to go nowhere, because people need at least 5 to 12 contacts, right? Okay. So systems, I actually want to make myself on my phone the host so I can show you guys some of my stuff. Drop a 1 in the chat if you have ever forgotten to respond to a message unintentionally. Look at that. Wow, you guys, see? Can't expect your prospects to just not have that same forgetfulness, right? Okay. So I'm going to just show you guys really quick my follow-up system. So Zael's going to share her system too. She has, she uses, I think, something on the computer. I'm more of a pen and paper type of person. I also use different collections, saving people to collections. I use screenshots. I kind of have I use the reminders app on my phone. I kind of have I like making sure that I don't forget, because let me tell you this too. When I first started network marketing, I remember this because I still to this day come across people that I didn't respond to for my first 5 months of being in network marketing. I didn't write anybody down. I thought, oh, I can just remember people scrolling through my inbox. No, especially if you're having a lot of conversations, you do not, your brain, as humans, we do not have great memories. Okay. You're going to forget people. So write them down, do something, get them in a spreadsheet. One of these systems that we're going to share with you, test them out. You can test them all out, see what works best for you, but you need to have some sort of system so you're not letting people fall through the cracks, because like I said, to this day on Facebook, every day I send people happy birthday messages, and I will come across somebody, because I have 5,000 Facebook friends. So I'll go to send somebody a happy birthday message, and it will be a message from 2019 that I just forgot to respond to from them because I didn't write them down. Like I'll go to say happy birthday and it's like a message that they sent me that I just completely forgot to look at. Like now they're a cold market prospect again because my dumbass didn't follow up with them or like remember to go back and check at it, you know? So you're leaving money on the table if you don't write people down or get them in some sort of system so you can remember them. So I'm just going to share with you. So I like writing people on this piece of paper. I'm just going to kind of screen share and show you guys, explain my system and how I do it. So just so you can kind of understand, I like this because I am home more often. Like I don't work a full-time job. So this is just what works for me. I just want to show you first though, too. I take screenshots. Like if I am on the go and I don't have my notebook with me, I will screenshot anybody that's ever replied to me about anything. So let me see. Oh, these are all my screenshots. I screenshot a lot of shit. But like, here's a couple screenshots, those blue messages, right? Like these are screenshots. So then at the end of the day, these are all screenshots. Like I just screenshot the shit out of any conversation I'm having. Like, look at all these freaking screenshots, right? So it's super easy then to go back into your, I'm just going to show you this way because I can't get my keyboard. So anytime I have a screenshot of somebody, I go and write them down. Like this is last week, right? And if I'm on the go and I get home at night, I write their names down on whatever day. And if they're a hot prospect, I highlight. So the pink is like people that are like fire, like I feel like they're going to enroll soon. And then I just kind of highlight like who's a market partner, who's a VIP. And these are people carried over from last week. I just kind of like, I do carry people over if I need to into the next week. So they're in my face if they're like a hot prospect. So taking the screenshot of conversations, then at the end of every night, it literally takes 5 minutes to go through my camera roll, put their name down on a piece of paper, and then you can easily search them instead of like trying to scroll through your inbox and figure out who you talked to about what. Like you can just search their name because you have their name written down on a piece of paper. You can just search them and they'll pop up and you don't have to waste time scrolling around trying to figure shit out. So that's one thing I do. And I also wanted to point this out. Last week I had one enrollment, this pink girl, one enrollment, and I counted 46 conversations. One enrollment, you guys. So think about that. Like how many conversations are you having? And then look at your enrollments. If you're only having like 10 solid conversations and you don't have any enrollments, well, you just need to talk to a couple more people, you know? And it's like, obviously now my funnel, people falling into my funnel they're going to be carried over. And I'm going to talk to you about how to follow up forever then too. Like once you get somebody down and you have them, how to not let them become a cold prospect again and just continue building that relationship until they are ready. And then I want to share with you too, how I save people potentials I do this on Facebook and Instagram, but just for time's sake, I will just show you. So on your Instagram page, in the stripes in the upper right, and saved, I just save people to, let's see. I have a potential MP folder right here. So these are all people I've talked to since November. So whenever I start a conversation with them and they respond, I'm not putting everybody that I reach out to in here, just people that respond. And so then I can easily go and interact with them too, because they're all in one folder. So like these group people, I can go and it's a picture like from April or whatever, but then I can go and if she doesn't have any new posts, but I can watch her story, interact, like send her some fire emojis, like do whatever I can. So cute. Oh my God. I talk to everybody like they're my best friend. Like I'm going to talk about how to engage and stuff too, but basically, so you can do that for VIPs and market partners. I do it on Facebook as well. So then it's kind of like, I have kind of gotten away from writing everybody down if they're not like super hot prospects, or if they haven't really replied about the business and I'm just kind of like warming them up, then I just keep them in that folder and I'll transfer them to my paper once I know they have some interest. Okay. So you just kind of got to play around with what works best for you. So basically, if I have a conversation, I write them down, I save them to my folder, and then I can just always follow up with them. And that's kind of my system, how I work it. I also, I was going to show you guys too. I'll just show you my screen. But the reminders app in your phone, if you have an iPhone, I'm sure that Android users have one as well. But these are all reminders that I have of people. If somebody says like, let's say I talked to somebody today, what is it, Wednesday? And they're like, pop in on me on Friday, I'm gonna get paid that day. So I set a reminder on my phone because if somebody tells me to pop in on them because they get paid, I'm not gonna fucking forget that follow-up, okay? Like that's somebody telling you they're waiting to get paid. So I set a reminder in my phone on Friday, put their name, and then I get a reminder so that my dumbass doesn't forget, because if I didn't, I've done this before. This is why I do this. People have told me to follow up with them on certain days, and then like a week and a half flies by and I didn't follow up, and now they're like, oh, I had to get new tires on my car yesterday. I'm like, oh shit, they would have had the money if I would have followed up on time, right? So just always get a date with somebody too. That's another thing. Like if you're like hopping in on somebody about the products and they're like, yeah, I want to get this, this, and this, and then you tell them the price and they're like, oh, I can't afford that right now, and they end it at that, you can say, when will you be able to? Can I pop in on your next payday? Smiley face. And then they're going to tell you like, yeah, that would work, or no, actually maybe next month. Like, and then you're going to set a reminder in your phone for next month, put their name, and you're going to get a reminder they need to pop in on whoever told you that you should pop in on them next month, right? So reminders app is fire for making sure you don't forget, and then just having people down in a notebook if you like pen and paper. And that's pretty much how I work it and keep track of people. Zael is going to share her stuff right now as well. So I'm going to pass it off to her.
Okay, give me 1 second. It's a little loud in here. Somebody else is talking, but give me like 2 seconds. 2 seconds, real quick.
Does anyone have any questions for me on all of that? Isn't it crazy? Like how many of you knew that 80% of people buy between the 5th and 12th contact? If you knew that, drop a 2. If you didn't, now you know. It's just like you have to just, I heard somebody explain it like, if you know Target is 7 miles away and you get in your car to drive to Target, you don't expect to be there in 1 mile or 2 miles. You just know it's 7 miles away. So you're just okay with it. You're on your way, you're going. So if you know it takes 5 follow-ups and you've only popped in on them 2 or 3 times, then you just know you need to get to 3 more times. Okay, she's ready.
All right. Hi, guys. Alyssa, that was great, as always coming with the fire. I am going to need access to share my screen when you get a chance. I don't know if that's you or Jess going to give me access. Okay, cool. So with follow-ups, it's pretty simple, you guys. My system is, I would say, about 3 parts, okay? So I have be organized, be consistent, and be authentic, okay? The first part, being organized, I'm going to show you what I use. I personally use Excel spreadsheets, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that and what to put on your spreadsheets. Hold on, let me click the share screen button because that would help. All right, so I have my future VIP list, and I was going to call it like potential VIP, but I'm like, no, these are all my future VIPs. So like what you name your stuff matters too, you know? Also, you guys, just a quick fair warning, I started this in December. I should have started it like way before because this is like clearly genius, but I started in December. It is what it is. So I have their name, their social media, their birthday, phone number, email, sent a cart, follow-up, products, main concerns, right? So this is basically everything that I need for a cart, right? So when a flash sale comes up, all of that stuff, literally I have everything that I need. So on the first initial contact, when I am setting them a cart up, I'm like, okay, we're having the conversation, and most of my interactions come from Instagram, right? So I already know their Instagram. Once I already know what their hair and skin concerns are or whatever it is, all I ask for is their phone number and their email, because 9 times out of 10, their Instagram is going to say their first name and their email is going to say their last name, right? That way I don't have to be like, okay, what's your email? What's your birthday? What's your last name? Then they're like, okay, too many questions, right? So if it's not in their email, then once I get their phone number, I'll ask them in the phone number. Okay, hey, it's Zael, da-da-da-da. They're like, hey, da-da-da-da. I'm setting up your cart right now. Send me your last name. So it's not all the questions in the DM. It's like 2 questions in the DM and then like 1 on the phone number, you know? So there's a balance and it's not feeling like overwhelming, okay? That's one tip. But let's say we have flash sales, right? All the people that aren't green or red, excuse me, have not signed up yet, right? So, and then the people who just have like their Instagram, those are people that I've reached out to but never sent a cart to. Okay. So all the people who are green have signed up as my VIPs. All the people who are red, I put here signed up as somebody else's market partner. And then this light green shade, she signed up as my market partner, right? So that way I can differentiate, okay, this person I don't need to talk to anymore. This person's good, blah, blah, blah. Whenever I have a flash sale, I'm always gonna look through what their concerns are, because let's say their concern is, or they wanted wellness, right? We have a sale on wellness, boom, I'm gonna hit up this person, see what's up, text them and be like, hey, so-and-so, I know the last time we talked, you wanted to get in on some products. I'm having a really great sale right now. If you'd like, I can give you some details. Would you like me to make you another cart and show you? 9 times out of 10, they answer and they're like, yeah, sure. Could you do that for me? Right? Boom. That's what it is. So this really helps me because especially when I'm making a cart, I already know what they need. I already have their information. I have their first and last name, their birthday, phone number, and email. And then I can follow up, And just because like I followed up with these people multiple times, it's from December, but I've still followed up with them a couple of times. Okay, my next, actually, I want to show you, this is just for my VIP. So if you need to screenshot, whatever, so that way you can make this yourself and with the name, social media, birthday, all of that stuff, go ahead and screenshot that so that you can have that. But now I'm going to show you guys my future market partner list. Give me 2 seconds. I'm on a hotspot. I should have had this pulled up in it. Okay. So I have the itinerary, I have the list called Dream MP list, right? Because when I was making this, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have this called my Dream MP. And this one, bear with me, I made it even later after the VIP list. So this one is like even newer, right? This one was probably made in February, and I'm not as consistent with putting names in here as I should be. But use me as your example, okay? Don't be like me. Make one, but actually put the names in it, okay? I'm gonna be more consistent, I promise. Now, this one is a little bit different because it's gonna be name, social media, date of reach out I just added because these two I just did this week. And so I added that in there, but these were from a while ago, so I just left it. You can add that too. I also put the location because I feel like that's important. If you are wondering, or like if you're trying to build a team in a certain area, it's important to know where you want your team. So I have DC. This girl I've actually talked to a couple of times. She's somewhere down south. I just don't know because it's been too long. I have New York, I have Cali, Massachusetts, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Arizona, PA, right? So then I had, did we have a potential call? Yes. On what date? Some of these I can't remember, or I've had multiple potential calls, so I just leave it yes. But for the most part, put the date there as well. Then also, if they took your work with me quiz, some people I'll get randomly that'll take my quiz, and so I'll put them in there. But for the most part, they don't really. And then here I have when to follow up, right? So in 2 weeks, I have this week. Oh my gosh, this was so long ago. I think I meant 22. I definitely meant 22, not 21. Okay. Once she does her taxes, and mind you, I have followed up with these people and it's just been like, whatever, but I'm going to keep following up, first week of May, like I have dates, check in from time to time, September when she turns 18, ready to start June 3rd, like take exactly what Alyssa said and put it down because it's important, right? And some of these people I have blank because like I said, I followed up with them multiple times, right? And then pain point, or just like what was their main concern? Like, why do they feel like they need this opportunity? Doesn't want to work a job, is already on social media, doesn't want to work a job, needs help fixing her hair, wants to make money, start her own business, wants to work remotely, Was a VIP before, wants to be a market partner, but needs money to start the business, all of that stuff, right? So really get specific and write down what it is their concern is. So that way, whenever you feel like, okay, I got to do a follow-up, go back to your list, reach out to people. Okay. This list should be continuously growing. Again, don't be like me and not add to your list, because I have a whole list on Instagram and just like, I do not transfer it over, which is my fault. But that's my first thing, is to be consistent. Be organized. I'm sorry. So let me stop sharing this. My next thing is to be consistent. Okay, you guys, give me 2 seconds. I put this on gallery. I don't like looking at myself while I talk. Okay. So next thing is you're going to be consistent. A lot of people trust me because I have not stopped showing up since I started. I started in March of 2020 and we are in June, almost July of 2022, and I'm still going. I'm still here. That's why people trust me. I literally had a conversation with a girl the other day who signed up as my market partner, who I didn't realize I had a conversation with her like months ago, maybe even sometime last year. And she came to me. We hadn't had a conversation in a while, and I was the last one to text. And she came to me and she was like, yeah, I think I'm ready to hear a little bit more about what you're doing. We hopped on the phone, boom, she signed up, So like a part of that is because I am so consistent with what I'm doing. I'm so consistent with my content. I'm so consistent with showing up. And granted, I might not post about the business every day. I might not post about my hair every day, but people still know what's up. People can still go on my page and be like, oh yeah, she still does Monet. They're not confused by my page. You're not gonna come on my page and be like, I don't know if she does Monet. You sure? Go look at my reels. Okay. Like, you're gonna know that I still do this. Okay. And not only with your page and your story, I want you to be consistent with your messaging. Okay. Again, I'm saying this to you because I'm also taking my own advice. Be consistent with your messaging, be consistent with the transferring of whatever you're going to use, whether you're going to write it down on a piece of paper, whether you're going to write it down on an Excel spreadsheet, be consistent with it, because that's how you get the results. Okay. And then my last point of like follow-ups is to be authentic. At the end of the day, we can give you so many scripts. Like, I can tell you exactly what I say. Alyssa can tell you what she says, but I want you to make sure it sounds like you. Okay. Because if you give me something and I'm just like, I'm going to make sure I tweak it to like my words, because I've heard so many Daniel G things, so many Boss Lee, I could call her Becky. So many Boss Lee things. And I'm just like, damn, that's a great start. That's a great formula, but I'm going to tailor this and make it my own. And I want you guys to do the same. So that's my 3-step formula, is to be organized, be consistent, and be authentic. Now, 2 things to remember, or 2 tips, whatever. People are going to say no. It's part of this business. It's part of the follow-up. It's part of the process. Okay. People are going to leave you on red. Again, it's part of the process, part of the follow-up. It's part of it. Okay. It's normal though. And I feel like we've all been in this long enough to know that. And if you haven't, I want you to get comfortable with hearing no, because it means that you're working. If people aren't telling you no, girl, you're not working. You're not working because you're not constantly asking, or you're not constantly trying to help people, So I want you guys to be comfortable with the no. I want you guys to be comfortable with putting yourself out there and getting turned down. Okay. It's normal. And plus, you learn from that. People can tell me no, I don't take it to the heart. But back in 2020, I'd be like, damn, like, did I say something wrong? Like, it's not you, okay? It's them. They're not ready, and that's okay. Be consistent, be organized, be authentic. They will come around. They will come around, because lately, a lot of my sales, a lot of my traction has been coming from people coming to me. My last VIP a couple of days ago, I think I posted about skincare a couple of days before that. And we had talked about skincare for like months ago. And she would always hit me up and be like, ask me a question about skincare. And then I answer it, go ghost. And then we'd follow up, text each other, whatever. But this has been going on for like a year, right? She finally hit me up the other day and she's like, hey girl, I think I'm finally ready to buy some skincare. I was like, bet, let's do it. So she got like $160, $180 worth of skincare, then added on a grab bag, and it came up to $186. I was like, look at that. She was like, girl, that's a great deal. I was like, isn't it? Isn't it? Because the grab bag had like 7 products in there. And she added on only $6 more, right? So be consistent, okay? You will have conversations with people from like months, some years ago. They'll come around, okay? But yeah, get the know, okay? And then the last thing I wanted to say is that I've had potential calls with people multiple times. Like if there's somebody that I know is gonna come around, but they just need that like connection, I'll have multiple potential calls with them. Like I've had people before where we've had a potential call in the beginning, you know, we've stayed in touch. And then, you know, I sent them an opportunity call so that they can hop on. And then I said, you know what, girl, like, why don't we just FaceTime again, see what's up, you know, let's catch up and then just like whatever, see where your head is at, right? It is okay to have multiple calls, especially because you are building that connection. And I do that personally to build connection because I want to see how they're feeling. I want to see how I can help them. And I've done that with a couple of people, and I don't mind doing it because they're like spread out. They're far apart. It's not like, you know, I had one last week. I'm like, okay, girl, what's up? Let's have another call. Like, you told me what's up last week. Like, I'm gonna wait, you know, talk to other people and what it is. But that's one thing that I feel like people don't talk about a lot is having like multiple potential calls. Like it's okay to have that with just one person, having multiple calls. Cause I can definitely tell you that I've had multiple calls with just one person, for sure. But if you do that, they will definitely remember you because they'll be like, damn, like that's my girl from Monet. Like I gotta get on my, she's doing so good. I gotta get on my Monet bag. Da, 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 da. Like, yeah, she's gonna remember you, okay? Because people remember me. Okay. All right, guys. That's pretty much what I had. That's my system. And those are just a couple tips that I had for you. But if you have any questions, have anything that you need, let me know.
Love that. Love that system. I think I probably will start dabbling in spreadsheets. I did want to say, I'm glad that Ziel brought up going like no's because obviously we get way more no's than yeses. There's actually a book called Go for No by Richard Fenton. It's really good. It's titled Go for No. Yes is the destination. No is how you get there. And I've also heard Bob say before, Bob Heilig, yes builds your business, but no builds you. And like Ziel just said at the beginning of her business, when people would tell her no, she would get all like salty about it. But now she's like, whatever. That's growth. That's personal growth, you guys. That's on personal growth after all these no's. So I always tell people like, make it your goal this week to get 100 no's. Not focusing on the yeses, focus on the no's because what do you think is going to happen on the way to 100 no's? You're going to get some yeses in between there. Okay. Like last week, I had 43 no's or not right now, as I got 1 yes. So they're going to happen.
Period.
So I just want to say that. But Go for No is a really good book. It's like an hour and a half on Audible if you listen to it. Super short. Like it's really good if you need the mindset to get into accepting the no's or like you get salty about it or whatever. That book is really good. I also wanted to show you guys really quick. If you have trouble with what to say, if you do not use the boards app or you're not in the team boards, I'm just going to show you how it works really quick because it's fire and there's a shit ton of follow-ups in there. And again, like Ziel said, make sure that you tweak these to sound like you always because people can definitely tell when you're not being yourself. So this is the boards app. If you're not in here, I can add your email. I'll resend a link. I think we're going to like kind of revamp this, but anyway, so there's a whole follow-up system with a bunch of follow-ups, right? There's a couple, like all these different like recent combos, didn't check back, blah, 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 promo ends today. So this is how it works. I'm going to go into Zoom. Oops. Where are you, Zoom? Here we are. Oh, I wish I could like type in. Oh, I can. Okay. But look at how smooth this is, you guys. And once you get added in here, you just click the little world in the bottom left and you go over to it. And you're going to be in, this is the Monet board. Like you can just click this follow-up button and all these are here for you. And look what it does. Like it just pops up there. And then you can do, I'm just sending it to the chat so you can see. Oh, I sent it to myself. But like, isn't that fire? You don't even really, and you do have to edit it a little, but like this one's really funny. Hey, did you get abducted by aliens, or you just opened my message and forgot to respond? You can get kind of salty with people. Spicy. I was gonna say salsa and spicy, but like don't be afraid to kind of, you know, be a little spicy with people. Or like also, I really like to, so let's say I talked to somebody at 10 a.m. today and they didn't respond. And we kind of had a little back and forth. And now it's like, what time is it? 7:30 p.m. here in Minnesota. I like, let's say Zael and I were talking and she just didn't respond. I literally just sent her name, like Zael, question mark. Where'd you go? Smart, like just reminding people, or even just super simple saying, like if you send information about prices or product descriptions or whatever, and then they didn't respond and it's been like a couple hours, same day, I will literally pop in and be like, thoughts? Question mark. That's it. You don't have to make it super complicated. Just to pop back in on people when you have been having the conversation and just like, here I am, just wondering where you're at. Like, it doesn't have to be 50 million sentences or whatever. It can just be super simple, like telling them like, did you read? And people are like, oh my God, I forgot. I had to get off work and get my kids or la, la, la. And like, that's just, you know, especially when it's a weekday, you just have to think like people are at work and people have families. Like they're literally just, their heads are cut off 24/7 and they don't remember their finger from their pinky from their thumb. Okay. So yeah, I will say that too. Like, when do you want to follow up? If I talk to somebody this morning, I'll pop back in on them that same night. If our conversation just kind of like fizzled out of nowhere, I'll pop back in on them same night. And then if they don't respond that night, I'll pop back in on them again the next day and just be like, hey, did you get my last message? Sorry to be, hope I'm not bothering you. That's another thing you can say if you do feel like you're annoying or like you're bothering people, just say that, like, hope I'm not bothering you. And they'll be like, oh no, and they'll tell you what happened. Like if you want people to respond, you just have to like put your feeling out there too. Like, I feel like I'm annoying, but I want to know, da, da, da. And they'll tell you. You just gotta let people know what's up. But so then if they don't respond then I'll probably, like, what's today? Wednesday. I'd probably then pop in on Friday if there's a flash sale. I love Monat because we do have sales every week pretty much. So that's a very good reason to follow up. If you need a reason, like flash sales, hello, every time, every week, you got an excuse to pop in on people. And then also, if you guys have market partners, that was another thing I wanted to ask. Drop how long in the chat you took to join the business, like weeks, days, months, like how long did it take you personally? It took me, with my first company, it took me like 5 days, but she did follow up with me like 3 times within a 5-day period. And then with Monat, I was watching PK and I just like enrolled with her randomly, but that doesn't really count. But like your very first time, 1 month, what else? How long did it take you guys? Anything. I just want you guys to freaking see. Kaylin, I think you took I think I started talking to you in November and you enrolled in February. So like 4 months. It's crazy. 6 months, 3 to 5 months. See, you guys, look at that. Like, and if it did take you this long, everybody's answering, like, how many follow-ups did you have, right? First call, see, we got some. I'm wondering if you guys are red personalities. I feel like if you're a red personality, I took 5 days. Like, I feel like if you're red, which I've talked about this before, it's just like money motivated, focused, like go-getters, but otherwise people with all didn't stop following up. See, like, and you're here and it took you however long you said. Like, think about that when you're talking to your people too. Like, how long did it take you personally to enroll? And then think about that when you're talking to your potentials. Like, it can take, some people take years. I just had a girl reach out to me last week who has been following me through my last company too. She finally was like, I think I'm ready. 4 years later, you guys. Like, she's like, I think I want to do your company. I see you're in a new one. Like, you guys, just like Zael said, if you're the one that's consistent, showing up, and people see all these other people falling off, like, they're going to come to the person that's the most consistent. And that we're going to talk about that with content next week too. Like, you want to be consistent with your content. It doesn't have to be daily. You don't have to go insane and like drive yourself to burnout, but some sort of consistent posting schedule is very important for your potentials as well, VIPs and market partners, because if you're not talking about your business or your products, like, people aren't taking you seriously. Okay. Anyway, that's another topic for next week. We're going to get into that. But anyone have any questions before we get off here? And does everyone feel more equipped? You guys going to get some systems down?
I think I saw a question in the chat earlier from Tatiana, basically asking if I do only phone numbers. phone numbers are helpful for me just because like once they do sign up as my VIP, like I can just like easily contact them from their iMessage. So yeah, I'll start in the DM because that's like where most of my conversations start. And then I'll take it over to messages. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Love that. Yeah, and getting phone numbers and emails is so smart because you own that. Like Instagram could shut down any day now, but if you're getting people's information outside of social media, then you can contact them. Like, I mean, when was it, like however long ago when Instagram was like down for like 72 hours? If you have their phone number and their email, guess what? You're not sitting there with your thumb up your butt because you can text them and still get them in on whatever's going on. So definitely I don't do that often. I know I should. I'm one of them. So everybody should start doing that. But yeah, figure out your system. I would, if you haven't done this, if you're brand new or like, I don't know, like I said, it took me 5 months to do this, but tonight you should go through your inboxes and get people down in a spreadsheet, start your spreadsheet, get them down on paper, like just scroll back to however long ago, the beginning of the year, like whenever, and just take the time to do that because then you're going to see the work that you put in and you can be proud of that and feel successful that you're actually doing the work. We don't base success off of results. Base your success off of the conversations that you're starting. And once you get everybody down on a piece of paper or in a spreadsheet, you're going to be like, wow, like I'm fucking working, and you can be proud of that. Okay. So that is all. I love you guys so much. And we can I have a potential call at 8, but I can send a code for a power hour as soon as we're done. It might be like 8:30 Central Time, 8:30, unless somebody else wants to do one, you guys can. But I will send a code for that in a little while, and I'll send this recording as well. Okay, love you guys so much. See you later.